Hey folks, this is Mickey G. You know how in the winter we talk about how cold it is, and in the summer we talk about how hot it is? Well, it's supposed to be cold in the winter, and it's supposed to be hot in the summer. If not, we'd be talking about climate change and that stuff. Well, Rodney and I talk about the heat, and of course, we talk about a lot of other stuff in this edition of Old Fools Talking Old School.
I did some stuff today. We came back in here, and after we put everything away, we all crashed out, man. that heat just takes it out of you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm the same way. I got a couple of things I had to get done this week, and I got up early, and it was still 70-something degrees. But
Yeah.
I got up early and got out there, and still, it's, before you know it, sweat just dripping off of you. So
Yeah, man. I was like, good God Almighty. And then Rosin got up and cooked, and I was like, I don't even know how you had the energy to do that because I don't even feel like eating. But she threw together some stuff, man. That's why I was sitting there on the computer just looking. And I glanced over at the time. I thought it said 8:10. I said, well, let me get up. And I got sodas all over the breakfast nook. I was getting ready to put it in the little refrigerator and to restock it. Boy, my stomach went to boiling. I'm like, what is that? The only thing I can think of, she put together a little concoction of fresh green beans and broccoli and something. I was tearing that up. I'm like, man, this is good. Well, I know what to take the next time I need.
Yeah, 'cause that especially that broccoli
Man.
can especially cause some gas and stuff like that.
Hey,
Sure.
Hey, yeah. Brother had to pucker up and hurry up and run then. Then I felt my phone vibrate, and then I saw your message. I was like, oh, I thought it was just only 8 something. And I ain't adjusted to this new time, no time anyway, man, because I'll be sitting up here thinking, oh, it's still early. It's daylight, and you get up here and it's 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
I jumped up. That's when I messaged you, said, man, give me 10 minutes, man.
Yeah, that's not a problem. That's why, like I said, I usually try to get up early on the morning and stuff. Cause it seemed like if I sleep in, which used to, I had no problem doing when I was younger. Like I say, if you saw me before noon, especially on the weekends, there was something special going on because I didn't get up.
Yeah.
And now, as I get up, it seemed like when I get up later than I normally do, I look up and I'm like, oh man, it's already 10 o'clock. Oh man, it's already 11 o'clock. When I get up earlier, I'll look up, so it's only 8,
Yeah.
I've already been up doing some things, So there's some of those mornings though that despite all the motivation, I turn right over and go right there.
Right.
I'm like, you need to get up and get going. Your days are longer if you get up. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, but I'm going to take another nap before I get.
I heard that. It is nice to have that option.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. It is good to be able to do that because them times you got to get up and punch that clock and stuff, you ain't got no options.
Then you feel miserable for half the morning trying to, get right in there, get a couple of them cups of coffee in you. And, but yeah, man, I'm definitely glad I got the option now, but hey, ain't too many times that I have to exercise it because I'll be here lately. My sleep pattern done got screwed up. I'll be up here. Well, I shouldn't say it got screwed up because them damn naps in the middle of the day is what causes it. I'll be up here, man, 11:30, man, you need to go to bed, man. I'll even cut the TV off, man, and kick that. That's one reason why, because our TV pattern is totally different. Our whole schedule is different. Come 10, she ain't going to be up no later than 10:30. I'm just getting started. 10:30. So I usually be up here on my computer or whatnot or watching TV, which there's hardly ever anything worth watching on this sucker anymore. And, man, I get lost in that computer just like now, really. I get lost in that computer. Next thing you know, it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I'll be damned. And then when I lay down, and I'm like, okay, now you need to go to sleep. Then I can't go to sleep. So my pattern that got all turned around. There's been a couple of days where I didn't even go back to sleep. I turned the television off and then couldn't sleep, so I end up turning it back on, man, and then I go through the day. And but when I do crash, it just crash and burn.
It's crash.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Now, see, me and Marion are almost just the opposite than you and Rosin. I'm the one that I'm on a pretty good pattern every night, and ever since she retired and she had that COVID bout and stuff, her sleep pattern has been crazy. I mean, the other night, friend of ours, I'm trying to think if you ever met Anna, that was from Florida. I don't know if you ever met her or not. But there's some friends we had down at Tyndall when we were at Tyndall. She came to visit, and they had been sort of sleeping in, So I'd get up and get my breakfast, go outside and do a little stuff, like I say, before it got too hot and stuff. And they still ain't got up. And she said she was leaving Wednesday morning and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna try and get out here by 5 in the morning. 'Cause I like to get on the road before it gets too hot and get where I'm going before it gets dark." I said, "You ain't gonna get up no 5 o'clock. You ain't got up before 10, 11 o'clock ever since you been here. Watch me." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna watch you." She was up like 4:30 in the morning, and was out the door before 5, on the road, And Marion came in there, we was helping her get everything together, get ready to leave. And man, I ain't been asleep all night. I said, "What you mean you ain't been asleep all night?" I couldn't go to sleep. I ain't been asleep all night. And I'm like, like I say, ever since she's had that COVID and stuff, her pattern's gotten off. I mean, to the point that, I guess it's been a year ago, and I said, "Look, man, you could have the master bedroom and the master suite. I got to get some sleep. I moved to the spare bedroom." But she had been there. She's one of those kinds that she wants the TV on. I'm the kind, when I go to bed, I want the TV off. I want the lights off. I mean, none of a nightlife. TV off. I want the lights off. I want to go to bed. She's the one that wants to have the TV on, even though most of the time the TV's watching her instead of her watching TV. She wants it on. I finally say, "Look, I can't handle it no more. I'm going back to the guest bedroom. You can have it." And that's what we've done for it's probably been over a year ago, I guess, now that I look at it.
Yeah.
But we just the opposite. I mean, we're just the opposite when it comes to that. She can stay up all night long.
Yeah, that's the way we are. Rosin like you. She wants everything quiet. Even if I turn over, you should be still. I can't go to sleep. You moving and all that, and I do. I mean, I don't. First thing, I ain't sleep, number one, but I stay in one position, then I gotta move, And but yeah, we got them separate accommodations because we just don't watch the same thing, even if we were watching TV,
Yeah.
You down there watching this Naked and Afraid. That's stupid, You don't get buck naked and go out there and let them mosquitoes eat your ass up. And all for, I don't even think they get money.
I wonder about that. I heard about that a year or so ago, and I went and watched that one episode of it. And I'm like, are they getting paid for this?
Yeah, I'm telling you. Because they ain't paying enough, whatever it is, if
heard that.
And then she wants to watch 600-pound thing with them big people. Oh, man, I ain't trying to watch that. We watch totally opposite things, and so we just go our own way with that.
Yeah, I tried to compromise early on. I went and I got me some earplugs. I got me some of those, those things you put over your eyes at night to sleep, those blinder thing, whatever you call it.
Roger got some.
I said, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna, just for the sake of, we've been, sleeping together for 40 something years now. I'm gonna try. Man, I got my earplugs in. I can still hear the TV. I got my blinder things on, and I can't really see much because it's dark and thing. But it just wasn't natural.
Right.
And I tried it a couple of times, and I said, "Man, this ain't gonna work." I said, I can't see coming in here every night putting earplugs in and putting these blinders on just to go to sleep.
And then you CPAP.
Yeah, So I'm like, nah. I said, you can have it. You can. I'll go back here and get in my own little world and go to sleep when I want to. Get in my own little pattern, and that's exactly what I do.
Yeah, man. She was even, does that light have to come on your seatbelt? Because when you take it off to go to the bathroom, the light come on.
Yeah, yeah.
I ain't got no control over that.
Yeah. Now I must admit I wasn't that bad that the light on the seat, but man wants to have the overhead light on,
Yeah, yeah.
And I used to there'd be times I look over there, she be dead asleep. I creep out of bed, go over there, cut the TV off. As soon as I cut that TV off, she turn over. What you cut the TV off for? I wasn't. Yeah, you was. Well, I don't want to. So I cut the TV back on. I said, nah, it ain't worth all that. I'll just go into my own little place.
Yeah, man. If we'd have known back in the day, we got 2 master suites built on.
Yeah, but like I
Yeah.
say, it wasn't much of a problem. And actually, back in the day, if there was any issue, Mary she just used to come out in the den and just watch TV in the den, in the recliner and everything, and she would be out there all night.
Yeah.
Didn't bother. But as she started having problems with her back and stuff, that started to be not an option because she just couldn't, lay up there in them recliners and stuff like she used to. So that took that away. But she didn't mind. She'd go out there and get in them recliners, and she'd be out, especially on the weekend. She'd be out there all night long. But once again, as we got older, that became more of an issue trying to sleep in them. So I don't know, but she's had issues with her back for a while. I went out and about that sleep number bed, thinking that would help, and she couldn't get any relief even with that.
With that, yeah.
Yeah, she tried the different settings and firmer and softer and all that kind of stuff, and finally she got to the point which they said about sleep numbers that they can do. They can after a while start to get that dip in them if you sleep in the same position
Oh,
all the time.
yeah.
And that started to happen. She said, it's got this dip in it right here. I said, well, that's from sleeping in the same place all the time. And so I think, matter of fact, I think one of the girls took it and I got a regular mattress and put on the bed. But yeah, we tried all that different stuff.
Yeah, I usually have a problem. I don't have a back problem, but when we go down to visit in Texas, go to stay at her parents' house, I know what that is. The mattress needs to be replaced, is what it is.
Yeah.
I cannot get comfortable. My back be hurting, man. I be laying over on the edge of the bed trying. If I make one false move, you're going to hear some but I'm like, God, I even threatened one time, look, I'm going to get me a hotel room, because I wasn't sleeping well and my back would be hurting. And I think her mother put some of those foam things on there. That don't help at all. But how they elderly people, they ain't want to go buy no mattress. But I sure be glad when I get home, boy. Like, ooh, some firmness.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. We the same way when we used to go visit, and like I say, especially when we first started going down to see her grandmom, and she didn't even have air conditioning. This is in Alabama in the summertime.
Right.
Oh boy, you talking about miserable. That half fan blowing hot air and stuff, and trying to me, it ain't nothing worse than trying to go to sleep and you're hot, you tossing and turning. And I said, no. One time I sort of stuck my foot out on the window ledge, got to get a little air on it, man. Got stung by a wasp. It was on the window ledge. And I was like, nah, we got to do something. That's when we went out and bought that window air conditioner to put in there. But like you say, she was elderly and she was fine. She'd been doing that her whole life. Hadn't had an air conditioner in the house ever. Of none, and didn't use it when we left. Madison, they would say, "Don't turn that thing on when y'all leave." I said, "But boy, I just can't have it." And I was young. I was young then. I wasn't old like I am now.
Right.
I said, "I just can't handle it." I said, there's nothing worse than trying to go to sleep and you're hot and sweaty and tossing and turning. That's miserable.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Right now, Mama and Nan would be upset if we got a hotel room. I was getting to the point like, I really don't care because I'm miserable as hell, man. Because especially if I get too hot trying to go to sleep, my nose stops up and it just causes all kind of mess, man. It makes you want to go outside and run to open up your nasal passage.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. Hell, I'm having problems with my room up here. I got this insulation company coming out Tuesday. Been good for 20 some odd years, and all of a sudden, because this room up here is in the attic,
Hmm.
and they got insulation all around it, and so I'm like, something ain't right, because it get hot up here. My house faces the east, and of course the west is on the backside. Well, my little cave up here is on the backside of the house there. So in the morning, cool as hell, nice from the air conditioner, from running all night. Man, that sucker gets over the top of the ridge, start beating down.
Hmm.
It gets hot as hell up here, man. And so I've been saying I was gonna get something done, and I get so damn tired of putting an inquiry into computer and all it wants to do is give you Angie or somebody, and then all of a sudden you have 30 people calling here with, wanting to give you estimates and stuff. I'm like, man, I ain't put
Right.
up with
Right.
that. So I have been looking in the phone book and looking, on the computer too, just for individuals. So finally, I just got sick of it, and so I called first dude I called. He said, "Oh yeah, we can do that." And we come out, and they came out and gave me an estimate. And he said, "I said, well, what about the rest of the insulation here?" He said, "Oh no, it looks fine." He said, "But I've got two attic access ways to get where you can see this room. So on the first side, they're like, well, they didn't put insulation right here at the top of your door and all of this other stuff, and we can do da da da. All right." And I let him through the one in the garage, and he was. I see what your problem is right here. I was like, what's that? He called something about like a baffle or something. They didn't put baffles up under the frame of that room up there and all that. They said, that'll take care of your problem. I was like, I hope he's right, because when he said that'll take care of your problem, I said, when can you start? I'm ready to get this taken care of, man. 'Cause I can't come up here in the middle of the day. It's so warm up here. And it just amazes me how for years it didn't do that. And that must be something to this sun, to this weather too, because it's getting hotter and hotter.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
used to didn't be a problem, but
Yeah.
now all of a sudden it's a problem.
Yeah. And that same issue we have with, the media room. Ours is upstairs, and it's always the hottest room in the house. I don't go up there nearly as much as I used to since I got the office down here. I stay down here all the time pretty much now, but every now and then I'll go up there, and if I ain't walking outside, I'll go up there and get on my elliptical or my bike or something, and it's always warm up there. And I always had a problem because upstairs we just got a heat pump.
Mm-hmm.
And them heat pumps are notorious for when they get hot. They're trying to cool all that heat in the attic,
Yeah.
and they start
Yeah.
to freeze over. And they get to a point where they freeze over that they don't cool no more.
Mm-hmm.
And every time the guy would come out and he said, "Yeah, cut it off, let it de-ice basically." And then at one time I actually had a Freon leak because I never knew that the heat pumps uses Freon for heating and cooling. But he said, yeah, you got a Freon leak, and that's one of the problems you had. But now I got a new unit that I was always getting the ones that American Home Shield was seeing.
Right. Right.
Well, after, right before I retired, I think I told you, I got, all the furnace and the heat pump and thing replaced because they all were, like the furnace was old as a house.
Mm-hmm.
And the heat pump, I think it had been replaced one time. I said, I'm going to get rid of American Home Shield, and I'm going to get new units, and hopefully I'll be okay. Now, knock on wood, since I got that new heat pump upstairs, I hadn't had any problem.
Right.
Any problem with it icing up or anything. And Tamara's up there now, and she's just like, man, she's always hot.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got the heat, crank down as far as, you can go with it still cool.
Right.
And so far, I hadn't had a problem with it, but I was always having those issues upstairs with that heat pump upstairs. And I was asking the guy, I said, why can't you just put a furnace upstairs? Well, you can't put that big old furnace you got outside. You can't put that up in the attic. He says, you got to go with a heat pump. That's really all you can do. Now, he said, now I can put you in a supplemental air system up here, almost like the things you find in hotel rooms.
Yeah.
He said, we can put you something like that in to give you more cooling. He said, but you got to realize, you're only going to use that maybe a month or two. And he said, they're pretty expensive. They got to be vented to the outside. He said, it's almost like what you see in a hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
I said, it ain't worth all that. I'll just sort of deal with it. But, so far it hadn't been a big problem. But yeah, I used to do the same thing.
That's
You know, that
good.
was always the hottest room in the house was up there in that media room up in the upstairs.
Yes, sir. And the thing of it is I've got a furnace for this. I got two separate units.
Uh-huh.
Because when they were building it, you know, which made me overlook a couple of things that I regret now. But I was having to get with this dude, man. He'll sit there and try to tell me, I don't think you need one. I said, I want a furnace up there. I'm not gonna have my furnace downstairs running all day trying to cool up here.
Hmm.
I said, no, I want a separate one. So they put a separate one on there. They put a ton and a half on it, but I've since added a 2 ton
Right, right.
on it. And that's what I don't understand. I think that's what masked the problem a little bit too, because I've always had that unit on and it stayed comfortable up here. But now that sucker don't seem to be. I mean, I guess that sun is just beating down so hot. And I'm like, God dog, man. And so I'm hoping this dude do the baffles or whatever he was calling them. He said, "Oh, that's gonna help immensely." I said, "Do you think so with a separate unit that's so?" He said, "Oh yeah, this is gonna take care of it." I'm like, "All right." He said, "I said, well, give me an estimate on that." And he said, $250. I said, "When can you start?"
Yeah, for that cost, yeah, same thing.
Yeah, man. Because I had already told him I probably gonna get another estimate. Well, he said 250. I'm like, the hell with that. When can you get? How soon can you get out here? So then I asked him another, and they're a pretty reputable company because I got some other stuff I'm gonna ask him to do as far as insulation, or have him check it anyway to make sure it's all right. But I was telling him, in my two spare bedrooms, I said, in the wintertime, the rooms are good. You open the closet door, it's freezing. He said, oh, yeah, that's a common problem. I said, oh, it is? He said, what the problem is the chute that's on there only reaches so far. And he said, but we'll check it out. And I think we'll be able to get that for you. I'm like, okay. I said, well, so what's the charge for that? For those two? He said, $250. I was like, man, when can you start? so, he's supposed to be doing that. But since you know how you do, you get an inquiry on the computer.
Right.
Now all of a sudden his advertisements are all over my Vine.
Yeah.
So I was just down there the night before I came up here. They had on there, and they had this. Oh, we give you a good price on the foam insulation. I was like, I might want to check that out. For a couple of the walls downstairs. I never noticed it before, but I guess since it's just me and Rosin here, I can hear her back in her closet. I'm like, damn, I should be hearing that. And then they were talking about, I've been watching these houses that they build around here, and I thought they used to insulate the walls, but it was like, no, not necessarily. They don't necessarily do that, or don't do it. I was like, damn. I thought that was standard issue. I don't know. I imagine it could be a fire hazard though. But he said, no, we don't do that. And I was like, okay, but I might have him shoot some in a few of these walls because we got, with just me and her here now, it's quiet as hell. So, but I'm going to see. And like I told Rosin, I said, I'm just going to, start getting some projects and getting them done. My damn stairwell down there. I was arguing with this dude so much. I didn't want the carpet stairway, and they put carpet stairway in here. And it's held up pretty good, but it's over 20 years now. I done cleaned them myself. I done had them clean. Once you do it, it looks good. The minute you walk down there, they lay right back down where
Yep.
it look like you see the footsteps, it just don't. I was like, I'm sick of looking at this. So I stopped by this other place. I'm waiting to hear from them with an estimate of, I sent them some pictures. I wanted to pull up that carpet and put the wood on it. So let's see how that goes.
And we're going through the same thing. We're going through bathroom remodeling because we, they built our house with this, those fiberglass insert tubs and showers and things. And once again, as we get older, I know it's going to get to a point to where getting in stepping over them tubs to get into the shower. Now
Yes,
the
sir.
master bath, of course, it has a shower and a separate garden tub, but
Right.
the other bathrooms just had those fiberglass inserts. So we're getting those replaced and some vanities and things done all at the same time and we said, yeah, we want the bench in there and all that stuff, the
Yeah,
grab
buddy.
bars. We want
Yes, sir.
all that in there. Cause I said, right now we're saying we don't really need it, but I know how that can go.
Yep.
I know I can go as you get older. So we're leaving one bathroom with the same insert with the bathtub and all. Cause like when my mom comes to visit, she still likes to take a bath,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I want to have one just in case, because sometimes I'll even put my CPAP stuff in the tub, put the water in there, put it in the tub and put the soap
Yeah.
in there and,
Yeah.
and let it rinse out in there. So I said, we're going to keep one just to have one in case somebody says, I'd still like to take a bath or whatever.
Mhm.
But we're getting all the rest of them replaced with the walk-in showers and stuff. And
See, that's on our agenda too, because you have all these damn commercials every day,
mhm.
multiple with it, and I'm like, this one sticks out of my head, West Shore something, but they do it, and that's what I was telling Roslyn, because I even had a couple people not call me back. You know how your I don't even know if it's porcelain or not, but your sinks get them lines in it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so I was told that because I was looking at getting the whole thing replaced. I said, no, you don't have to do that. They can come out. They got a machine that will smooth all of that out and get the cracks out. I'm like, hell, that's even better. And but I need to get those taken care of. And the same thing with the tub, because I got in. Cause I don't think I'd ever taken a shower in our other bathroom down there. Just on the one off, I took a shower one day. I'm like, this tub is crooked or something. Man, I thought, I thought I was about to fall. I'm like, damn. So it's been on my mind for a while. So I was like, yeah. And then we thought about remodeling, but she said, well, if we remodel, I want to remodel the kitchen first. I'm like, all right, whatever, and do something.
Yeah. Well, we'd already done the kitchen. We got it redone. Well, we actually redone the cabinets and all that's 4 or 5 years ago. And then we got the countertops all replaced last year. And then, like I say, we looked at the bathrooms this year because it was funny how it's almost like chasing your tail. When we got the bathrooms done, and I pretty much did most of it myself. We ordered the vanities and everything that was sort of the end thing at that point. Well, that was now 10, 12 years ago.
Right.
And everything has gone back to almost the kind of stuff that we had when we first moved into the house,
Right.
And we're looking at, everything now seems to be more of the bright color whites and white mixed and gray. We
Grays.
got
Yeah.
the old, the browns and the black and brown countertops and the stained wood vanities and all that. Well, it's pretty much all that's gone now,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, it's almost like chasing your tail. But I told Mary, I said, at this point in our life, this is probably going to be the last remodel we do, because by the time the trend changes again, we may not even be here.
That's what it is. It changes every.
Mm-hmm.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, yeah.
They change it every time, because these whites and grays. That's just like even on the houses now. White and black houses are all the craze down here. And of all places, with all this red clay they got, it rains and that splashes up on the bottom of your house. Your house is white, and it just, like I told Ross, I'm changing stuff for us. We'll change it for us, but I ain't trying to keep up with no trend, because that changes every 15 minutes,
That white, there was a few houses around here that had their their red brick homes painted white,
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, the thing that didn't appeal to me about that more than anything else was, that's paint. It's going to have to be redone.
Yes,
brick is
indeed.
sort of brick. You ain't got to be able to do much to brick.
That's right.
That's going to have to be redone. And this one house, I guess they did it intentionally, but it almost looked like they spray painted the house and they was about to run out of paint. I mean, there's areas that you can see like darker shades in the white.
Yeah.
And I said, but I guess that's how they wanted it. I can't think of anything else, but that's, I guess, how they wanted it to look. And I'm like, that don't look right. I don't like that. That's how you wanted it to be, Ed. Yeah, like I said, it looks like they started to run out of paint, so you got light areas where some of
Yeah.
the darker the brick is showing through than other areas. But
There's only so much distressed look I want.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, Rodney and I started talking about the heat this summer. Ended up talking about home remodeling. You just never know where our conversation's going to go. Well, we hope you enjoyed it. Join us next time for Old Fools Talking Old School. Until then, this is Mickey G. Peace.